All right, Auburn and Georgia. Here we go in the SEC. Georgia 24.5-point home favorites. The total in this game currently 54.5. This could be a Georgia beatdown. I'll be honest. It very well could.
Yeah.
Do I trust Auburn? No. That offense is still problematic. Now, they were going up against a good Oklahoma defense last week. No question about that. And I know, the effort was decent, but at the same point in time, when the game was there to be won and it was 21-16 Auburn, you got the absolutely – it can't happen. Peyton Thorne throwing that pick six. And sure enough, that was the game-winning touchdown. And Oklahoma takes the lead, and they don't look back. Auburn did a lot of good things. I was shocked that Peyton Thorne hung 338 passing yards on that Oklahoma defense, including a big shot down the field early in the game, or a couple of them, to Lambert Smith, Keandre Lambert Smith, and Malcolm Simmons. He had 31 and 48-yard passing touchdowns. I'm like, really? Peyton Thorne is doing this to Oklahoma's defense? But then Oklahoma was better in the second half, and again, the pick six was just killed Auburn in that game. They lose 27-21. Tough loss. Now you got to play a pissed off, angry Georgia team. Georgia will not look past Auburn after losing to Alabama. Now there is that element of maybe a little physical, because that was a very physical, intense football game against Alabama. Maybe a physical, maybe an emotional hangover. A lot of emotion in that game too, but I don't know if that's enough to save Auburn in this game. I think they're up against it. Put it this way: I'm not stepping in front of Georgia in this spot. So by default, Georgia or pass. C-Mac, what do you think? Auburn, Georgia.
Yeah, I think this is a Georgia first half, and I'm going to look at Auburn team total under. I just say I think this is get recorrected. We talked about last week, Bavano. Like, I wish it kind of went heavy. Over. Just when Bama, Georgia get together, it might not go crazy over, but just the playmakers show up and the offenses. How great these defenses are against everyone else. It just, you see the points, and it happened again. So if you jumped on that over, that was easy money. Yeah, Auburn dominated this game, a lot of it, till like midway through the fourth there. I mean, Peyton Thorne, he was looking good, and that pick was just awful. It just changed everything. He just can't be back. Maybe full game. Could they cover this? I don't know, but I think Georgia will.
Georgia's only 1-3 against the spread this year. I should point that out.
Yeah, and they struggled against Kentucky. This just seems like the bad spot after last week's game. I'm sure practice, everything will be addressed, everything that went on. But this is still a ton of points here with Auburn. It's just Payne Thorne. Like I like never really laying points with him, or even last week about to pick him, or in a game like this. Like maybe the points with him. Can they score? And I don't know if they can. I don't know if they can score two touchdowns and a field goal. That's why I'd look to their team total under.
You know what's something too? I don't know if this is a fault of the Georgia offensive line or Trevor Etienne, who they got from Florida as a transferred from Florida to Georgia, but maybe that's why Florida didn't go crazy to try to keep him. I haven't been impressed with Trevor Etienne so far this year for Georgia.
Last year, Bavano, they got 20 points. It was 27-20. Auburn came right out of the gates. It scored 10 in that first quarter. They were up 10-0. It was 10-10 at halftime. And then Georgia pulled away. And Thorne was in that game, 10-19, 82 yards and a pick. They did have success running it.
Yeah,
Auburn did against Georgia. Can they do that again? I don't know. But before that, they've struggled in years past, to get past two touchdowns.
And for the year so far, they're 101st in rushing offense, Georgia. So everything's been on the arm of Carson Beck, it seems, this year, as far as offense. With over 300 passing yards, top 20 per game, but 129 rushing yards per game. They're in the hundreds. So they have not been able to run the football like we've been accustomed to in years past, when they've had, Nick Chubb, and they've had James Cook, and they've had all these great running backs in the past, and they've been able to run the football at will. We're not seeing that so far this year for Georgia. Can they shore that up here moving forward?